Hey guys, Salisbury Navy here. I know it's all dark. There's a method to my madness. The power is out and I decided because this video is going to be all about blindness, I should do it in the dark while the power's out. Think of it as kind of a simulation, and believe me, if you could see me, you'd wish you couldn't. I look a complete mess right now. First of all, I apologize for my voice being kind of scratchy. It's like 5:30 in the morning. And my throat kind of hurts. I may be coming down with something. So as you guys might know, October is Disability Awareness Month and Meet the Blind Month. I don't know why my phone just vibrated. So I'm going to be doing several videos on the topic of blindness. I've got several different things that I'm going to discuss with you all throughout the month. I'm actually pretty excited. This one is going to be all about color and reflections and shadows and other visual things that to me are kind of anomalies. So let's start with color. I've always kind of had a pretty good understanding of what color not what color is. I know what color is, but I know what each color sort of represents. I don't know what they look like, but I know what they feel like. And when I say feel, I don't mean I can touch something and say, oh, okay, that's blue. I know what they emotionally feel like. I know what kind of emotions they stir up and what kind of, objects or things are represented, or I'm sorry, what kind of things they call to mind. For example, white is purity, it's innocence, it's bright, it's snow. When I think of white, I think of going out to play in the snow when I was a little kid and the sun reflecting off of it and me thinking, why is it so bright out here? This was back before I sort of knew about all of this. Excuse me. So, yeah. Red it's hot. It's passion of any kind, anger, love. It's fire. Sunsets, sunsets are kind of I don't know, I've heard conflicting reports. Some people say they're red, some people say they're orange. Orange is, I think of orange as a little bit softer than red, but it's warm. Some fires I've heard of being orange, but I typically think of that as, kind of a lower flame. Orange is the color of my cat. It's pumpkins. It's oranges. Duh. I could go on all day. I've learned that just mostly through, honestly, like I think my love of reading and the way some authors describe colors, I think I've kind of picked up on that through, books and just through, excuse me, my experiences. A lot of people, when I talk about this, they go, oh, so all you see is black. I wouldn't say that that's completely accurate because I do see light. Now, the thing is, I don't see anything but light. I can't see what color light it is. There are, I guess, different, I don't know, this one particular moment comes to mind. I was playing in an indoor pool at nighttime, and I remember asking my mom why it was darker in the deeper end than it was in the shallow end, and she said, oh, well, in the shallow end there's a light bulb that's, white light and it's brighter, and in the deep end there's a yellow light bulb that's a little bit softer. And that made sense to me, and at first I was like, I wonder if I'm noticing the color difference, but I think I was just noticing the difference in brightness. But I wouldn't say that I only see black because I still see light. Now, even if I did see all black, I wouldn't know the difference because, I've never been able to see anything else. Now, reflections were always kind of fun to me when I was little. I used to love to play with mirrors. I used to love to look at a mirror and pretend that there was a clone of me on the other side of, I used to pretend that it was a window and there was a clone of me on the other side, and I used to, talk to her and everything. I think we've all done that, I hope. Um, and, this was before I knew what mirrors, I knew what they did, but I didn't understand how. And I remember one time asking my mom, and she said, "Oh, a mirror is, a mirror, reflects you, and a reflection is basically a picture echo." And that made complete sense to me because, I've been using echolocation since I was a baby. I mean, I was apparently when I was 6 months old, when I would crawl down the hallway, I would know when I needed to turn because I could hear that opening, I could hear it opening up around me. And I understand how echoes work. So when she described it as a picture echo, I was like, oh, I actually thought that was a really cool way of describing it. And like I said, that made sense to me immediately. Now, shadows are a completely different story. They've always been an anomaly as far as I'm concerned. I have a sort of idea of them now, but it took a long time for me to get there. Um, I was always kind of like I knew, that shadows were, like this one time comes to mind that I don't remember where I was, but I was playing in a sandbox with some other kids, and this girl was blocking the sun, and I was like, why did it just get chilly? And somebody said, oh, you're in so and so's shadow. So I knew that shadows kind of blocked light. And I knew the principle, but I didn't know what they looked, I knew that they were, where light didn't fall, but I didn't know what they looked like. I always thought of shadows as kind of a reverse reflection. And, that wasn't completely accurate. After talking with several people about it, I came up with the visual that shadows are kind of like having a gray or black cardboard cutout just following everything you do on the ground, because shadows are two-dimensional. They're flat. Um, and the reason I say gray or black is because I do know that, the darkness of the shadow depends on the density of what's casting it. The example that my friend Nico gave me is, you know, a brick will cast a darker shadow than, a cup. Um, and she is cool. She explains things in a way that makes sense to me. Um, there's very few people that can do that, and she's one of them. So shout out to Nico. I love you, girl. Um, yeah, I think that's about it for now. I will get this uploaded when the power's back on because I'm on 3G or LTE, whatever, 4G. It's probably 4G. I think it is 4G actually. I'm using data, so I'm not going to upload it right now, but I will get it uploaded as soon as the power comes back on. And yeah, I've got some other cool stuff planned for this month, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share and do all that fun stuff. And I will leave links to my other social media accounts in the description, so don't forget to follow me on there if you haven't already. And I hope you guys have a great day. I will talk to you soon.